Hey, Super Cruisers, it's Kevin and Frank from Cruising with Wheels.
Looking for cruise discounts? Military, police, firefighters, or just a senior? Let's take a look at what Royal Caribbean Cruise Line offers.
So let's jump right into it.
Okay, now this all kind of started, this video, because I was reading a lot of, there were questions and comments on Facebook regarding discounts. Do cruise lines give discounts to military and any other services? And a lot of the answers were, no, sorry, they don't. Cruise lines don't offer discounts. It's really sad, blah, blah, blah. You can't get them. I've looked. But I looked on the cruise lines policies. I went to Royal Caribbean. I think that's the cruise line they were talking about. And this is what I found on Royal Caribbean's site regarding discounts.
Now, Royal Caribbean, concerning their discount program, they say that some qualifying rates apply, including a special third and fourth guest rate for anyone staying in the same stateroom with 2 full fare paying guests. Gosh, that's a mouthful. So if you intend on having your children stay in your stateroom, their rate may be lower, and additional qualifying rates will include.
Royal Caribbean offers reduced senior prices only on selected sailings, exclusively for guests who are 55 years of age and older. And they also offer special rates for police and firefighters on select ships and sailings, and special rates on selected sailings for military personnel as well.
Now, it is important that at least one guest per stateroom be eligible to be considered in compliance with the restricted price program. It is also important to note that non-compliance of the restricted price program terms will result in the reservation being repriced to the lowest available fare for that particular day. Furthermore, you will be responsible to pay for any differences immediately, or else your boarding rights will be denied. Now, this is important because, as we know, prices for cruises ebb and flow, being the best price when the cruise is first available, and then it gets higher, and then it gets lower again.
So basically what they're saying in this little blurb here is, don't lie.
Don't lie.
Because if you lie and you get caught, you're going to be paying what they believe you should be paying, and you're lucky that it would be the lowest price for that day. Now, to qualify for the police firefighter department rate, an individual must qualify under the following. Now, again, at least one guest in the stateroom must be an active or retired employee or volunteer of a local or state law enforcement agency, fire department, or emergency medical services unit in the United States and Canada.
Now, see, don't you think that's great?
I do.
They actually, you do not have to be a paid employee. You could be a volunteer.
Or retired.
Or retired. And they're really doing this to thank our first responders.
And it's North America.
And it's North
They
America.
include U.S. and Canada.
Now, qualified guests must present a valid proof of employment, such as a badge or an ID, plus a second form of identification when boarding the ship. The ship, okay? The offer is not valid where restricted by applicable laws.
Now, all guests traveling in the same stateroom are eligible to receive the police fire rate. No additional staterooms other than the one that is occupied by the qualified person is eligible for the police fire rate. Spouses, parents, in-laws, children, and other family members or friends are not eligible for the rate without the eligible person occupying that particular stateroom.
Now, in regards to the military rate, to qualify for that military rate, an individual must be classified as one of the following. They're very, very particular. You need to be either an active personnel, which is currently serving in the Canadian National Defense, United States Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, National Guard, or in the reserves. Now, proper identification in the form of a United States Uniformed Services white, specifically, identification card for U.S. military personnel, and a white ND-21 identification card with red Canadian flag displayed for Canadian National Defense personnel must be presented at time of check-in. Now, I do want to say that all of these military IDs, I don't want to have a lot of comments about, well, what's that ID? If you're in the military, you know.
That's right. Now, retired from any of the divisions listed above, and retired is defined as A, enlisted personnel or officers with a minimum of 20 years of service, or B, medically retired, or C, 100% disabled. Again, proper identification for those classified in categories A or B must be in the form of a United States uniformed red, that's reserve retired personnel, or blue, which is active duty retired personnel, identification card. Now, proper identification for those classified in category C is a United States uniformed TAN identification card.
Excuse me.
Retired Canadian National Defense personnel are eligible and must possess a green NDI 75 card, which is retired personnel. All forms, again, of ID must be presented in the time of check-in. What a lovely color-coded system.
They just love their colors.
I know.
Now, veterans with an honorable discharge. We're probably going to get this question, so we will just get it out there right now. Veterans with an honorable discharge serving a minimum of 2 years or 6 months in an active war zone in any of the United States service divisions listed above that we just spoke about.
Right.
Proper identification in the form of a DD-214 plus a current photo must be presented at time of check-in.
Now, what about spouses?
I know.
Spouses.
They got you covered with that too.
Spouses of actively deployed military personnel are eligible to book one stateroom as long as the eligible spouse is with them occupying the stateroom. Now, this rate also applies to all other guests traveling in the same stateroom. Spouses of deceased military personnel are also eligible for the military rate. As proof of eligibility, spouses must present the pink or tan dependent military ID upon check-in.
Now, all guests traveling in the same stateroom are eligible to receive the military rate. No additional staterooms other than the one that is occupied by the military person is eligible for that military rate. Spouses, parents, in-laws, children, or other family members or friends are not eligible for the military rate without the eligible military person occupying the stateroom. Are you getting the theme,
Are you getting
people?
it? One stateroom, military, one occupied, no other. So if somebody wants to do a whole group thing with 3 or 4 or 5 cabins, only the one with the military is going to get that rate. There you go. So no lying, proof, ID at check-in, person in the stateroom. Those are the bottom line criteria.
So we encourage interested cruisers from any of these categories to reach out to the cruise line and get the particulars. See what discounts are offered and book that cruise.
Right. And it's not just checking out Royal Caribbean's policies, but check out all the other cruise lines policies regarding military, police, firefighter and whatever, and see if they also offer discounts.
You never know until you ask.
That's right.
Thank you for joining us for this video today. Click that like button and remember to always
Travel safe
and cruise often.